Hello, good morning. This is Diecast Looney. I hope you're all doing well. And today we're going to be actually restoring a Matchbox rolamatics car that a friend of mine has given to me. So we'll just pan down a sec. There you go. A good friend of mine who goes to lots of second-hand shops and car boot sales when they're on and various bits. He's got a vast collection of old Matchbox and all sorts of old cars, really. And he knows that I have started doing some restorations and bits and bobs. And he asked me if I would do this car for him. And it's a Mustang of some sort. It looks like a sort of 1972 Mustang, I should imagine. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it's Matchbox rolamatics. There we go. Mustang piston popper. And its copyright is 1975. So it's fairly old. And it's in not too bad a condition. I mean, alright, the paint's all gone and the plastic's lost its colour there, but the windscreen is in good condition, which is unusual. And the wheels don't look too bad. But anyway, he wants me to restore this for him. And he wants it in that same colour green that I did on the Renault 11 on the majorette build. I did a good week or so back. He really likes that colour. Now he doesn't watch my videos per se, but he, like I said, he's a friend of mine, and he's done a lot for me, and I've done a lot for him over the years. And he's seen. I actually showed him the majorette build after I'd finished it. And showed him the video on YouTube and various bits. But anyway, so he dug out a few cars and gave me, to restore. But this is the one he wants doing. So basically, what we're going to do with this, we're going to strip it down, clean it all up, and give it a coat of that green that he wants, and see if we can clean up this and maybe give it a coat of paint. And I'm going to see if I can restore these wheels, which I've never done before. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me because I've never taken a rolamatics apart. I don't know what's inside. I've never restored wheels before. So, and he also wants me to give it some light detailing. So just give these little lights at the back a little paint. And he said paint the grille, if possible. But he doesn't want me to go mad. So basically, yeah, repaint, and a little bit of detailing. So it's not going to be 100% restoration, because obviously if it was 100% restoration, it would be the original colour and it would be just put back together and all that good stuff. But anyway, we'll get straight into it and we'll get it apart and we'll see what it's like inside. Right, so it's all drilled out. So let's see what happens. So yeah, it didn't drill out too bad. It took a bit of persuasion to come to pieces, but I had to be really careful that I didn't damage anything. Now this I can probably gently pop out. So we'll give that a go in a minute, because I'm going to have to give that a separate clean up and a spray. So we'll just move that to one side. And there's the windshield. That's looking, like I said, a good wash, and that'll come up quite nice, which is good, because they're usually scratched or scraped or cracked. And again, the interior, I'm not going to detail the interior because, like I said, it is, you're not going to see it through the colour of the actual windscreen. You don't really see all that much. But like I said, it's a 90% restoration, because, like I said, it is only really a colour change and a little bit of extra detail. And there's the popper part, or what they call it, piston popping part. So we'll put that to one side. And there's the usual Matchbox suspension. So anyway, we will proceed on to the next stage. And that's it, completely stripped down now. I managed to get the little plastic insert popped out for the rest of the engine detail. And the car's in pretty good nick, really. The only thing I'm not going to take to pieces, I'm obviously not going to take this off. I haven't decided what to do with the base yet. I think I'm just going to clean it up and polish it. I know sometimes people spray these, but I may spray it. I'll see. I haven't decided yet. I'm just going to sort of play it by ear, but this is the only bit I didn't want to play around with too much. And it's in really good nick. Like I said, the biggest task I've got is going to be restoring these wheels. But anyway, let's get on with the next process. Right, and here we are. Everything's in some warm soapy water, the plastic bits. I've got, not that you can see it because it's in this tub, but you've got the car in there doing the paint stripping thing. So that's stripping away nicely, and just give these the usual, just a quick brush over. Like I said, this is in remarkably good condition, apart from a little bit of scuffing on the wheels, which is obviously going to happen over time from being played with. And the paint's obviously mainly missed, or virtually all gone on the car. Apart from that, this is in really good condition. So it must have been looked after when it's played with. But yeah, so that's all coming on nicely. Just leave that soak for a bit longer. And just got to address these wheels now. So we're going to get on and do them whilst we're waiting for things to do its thing. And there's the body all done, paint all stripped off, first coat of primer put on. There's not too many imperfections. There's a few little bits I'm going to sand off and give another coat of primer. But it hasn't turned out too bad. I had a little bit on the body to straighten out. I thought it was straight, but there was a little bit of bend in it. But no, it's pretty cool. And the lines are good. It's got very good lines on this car. So, and like I said before, I think it's based on the Mark I Mustang. I think it looks like a sort of a 71, maybe a 72. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, so that's that. So I'm going to go and give it another coat of paint in a minute. As you can see, I've got the plastic front piece painted, and the what looks like a manifold painted in like a dark grey. But I'm not going to go too mad on detail, because sometimes I believe that less is more. You know, you can overdo things. So that's been done. And I've got the base. I decided not to paint the base in the end. I just cleaned it up a bit. It's not too bad. I could have done a better job, but I didn't want to paint it because, you know, I don't want to over restore this car particularly. I want to give it a restoration with a slight bit of detailing. So I've done a sort of a dark grey sort of a paint on there just to highlight the grille. I'm not going to paint the lights because, well, for a start, I've run out of white paint, but it doesn't look too bad, you know, because the lights are already silver. And then the back, I've just done the lights in red, and again done some black grille work on the back. So just keep it simple, you know. Everything else is washed up, ready to go, and didn't need to do nothing to that part apart from clean it. So that bit's been cleaned up, and the wheels haven't turned out too bad from my first attempt. As you can see, I've gave them a lick of paint and cleaned them up. They've not turned out too bad at all. So that's pretty good. That was the bit I was not looking forward to doing. So they didn't turn out too bad, considering they were quite scuffed and obviously most of the paint was gone. But anyway, I'm going to do some more painting now, and then we can start assembling at some point. And there's it with the second coat. It's had its mist coat, and this is the second coat, and I've just got one more coat to put on. And I'll do the last coat on camera, but it's looking quite nice. But anyway, we'll go outside and do the last coat. And here we are outside for the last coat. I'll see if I can get it on camera. And there it is. And there it is, all reassembled and put back together. And it hasn't turned out too bad. It was a right fiddle. I had to keep taking it to pieces and put it back together because I couldn't get the piston poppers to work right. But they are working right now, as you can see. It works a lot better on the carpet. But there you go, they are working. But they were a little bit fiddly to sort of get right. But yeah, it hasn't turned out too bad at all. You know, I managed to get the few scratches out the window and the back window. The paint looks really nice in the sunlight. I've had to sort of close the curtains, but in the sunlight, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's a nice bit of, you can see the fleck in the paint. But and it hasn't, so yeah, it hasn't turned out too bad. There's the back, all detailed in. There's the other side of the car. But the only criticism I would say to myself is I'd do the wheels differently again. I think I could have spent a little bit more time with the sanding process on the wheels before painting them and cleaning them up and all that good stuff. But they're all right. They're not too bad. I mean, like I said, the car was in a fair state, but there's underneath. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. I'm quite pleased with it, and hopefully my mate Keith will be pleased with it too. I'll be delivering it to him next week now. Well, that's be next week until I see him again next. But the only one thing left I've got to do is I've just got to pop that corner in, and that's it. This corner's not popped in quite enough. But other than that, and that little bit there. But I will do that off camera. I will pop that back in. But yeah, anyway, so it's all functioning. And like I said, I didn't want to, excuse me, do too much detail work, just because at the end of the day, this is more of a toy than a model, and I think less is more sometimes. I think if I'd have gone too far with the detailing, it'd have taken away from it. But it hasn't turned out too bad at all. So that's another one done. So that is the Matchbox rolamatics piston popper Mustang, copyright 1975. But anyway, please like and subscribe. I will be doing more restorations soon. I've got another 2 or 3 cars lined up to do next. This one was not planned. Like I said, this was for a friend. So, and this is the first time I've done something for somebody as well. So, like I said, I will get that gap closed down a bit just because I'm fussy and like it right. But anyway, yes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.